Hey y'all, I'm here with another video. So today I am not reacting, I am reviewing Cartel Crew Season 2 Episode 3. So the reason why I'm reviewing this show is because, to be quite honest, when I looked on YouTube to see if anybody reviewed this show, I could not find anybody who reviewed this show at all. So I said, oh girl, why don't you do it? Why don't you do it? So I've been watching the Cartel Crew since last season, which is the first season. I automatically got drawn to it because of the fact that it was giving me Mob Wives, vibes. And anybody who remember Mob Wives, that was a excellent trash reality TV show. R.I.P. to Big Ange, but it was giving me those type of vibes. So the first season was pretty cool. I kind of fell off towards like the middle of the season, but then I went back and I binge watched it. So like I said, the first season was pretty decent, you know what I mean? I had some people that I cared for, some people that I didn't care for. I really wanted to watch it because of Kat, which is Tattoo Baby. That's how I know her. Most people would know her, but I really like Kat a lot. I like her personality. Yeah, so I like that. I've always heard of, I've seen Michael Blanco. I've seen him do a lot of interviews before, previous to this show. So, I want to say this. The main thing that I like about the show, and I like, is that it's women and it's men. Like I said, Mob Wives was just the wives. And as far as the husbands was concerned, they wasn't really shown a lot. Or, it was just like always something going on. But it wasn't really, the men wasn't really too much involved. And in this one, the men are kind of a little bit more involved. So let's get to it. So before we get into episode 3, let's just recap what's been going on in the past 2 episodes. So number 1, Marie, possibly, who is Michael Blanco's wife, might possibly have to do 30 days in jail because of the fact that she got into an altercation with her mother and her brother. Now last season, it was, I guess, made very clear through her conversations with her brother and just in general that her parents do not want any part to deal with her at all because she's with Michael. And as we all know, Michael and who his mother is, this, that, and the third. And, I think she had a birthday party, I believe, last year for her child, because they do have a child together, and her parents were supposed to show up and they didn't. And let me say this. I think that this whole situation is complete trash. Whether or not, because Marie said it in its facts, whether or not you care for the man that I'm with, my husband, or not, this is your grandchild. And for you to be like so stuck in your ways and so selfish to not put your shit to the side to make sure that your grandchild is being loved on and stuff like that, that says a lot about them as people, pretty much. Like, no shade to her parents, but it says a lot about them as people, because that's complete trash. Like, do you know how many mother-in-laws and their son-in-laws or mother-in-laws and their daughter-in-laws don't get along or don't like each other, but still take it and put the bullshit to the side for the grandkids because it's not about you? And I think the fact that okay, it's one thing to call the police, all right, whatever, but for them to really press charges on her to the point where she's about to go to jail, that is complete trash. Like, that's some shit I could almost never forgive my parents for. Like, really, you really gonna watch your daughter go to jail just because of the fact that we had some type of altercation? Like, I don't know the extent. I don't know if Marie beat her mama's ass, but regardless, you shouldn't take it this far. That's bullshit to me. Okay, so I just wanted to say that on that. Also, Diana she was opening up, or she's trying to start a record label. Stephanie so Kat's baby daddy, Eddie, got out of jail. Eddie is fine too. And he got out of jail, and Stephanie, who's Kat's best friend, had went to Eddie's job and pulled him outside of the job and pretty much cursed him out, told him he ain't shit, he ain't gonna never be shit, he don't deserve her best friend. And then when Eddie came and told Kat sat down with Stephanie and snapped the fuck out on her. I believe 1,010% that Kat was right in what she did, because Stephanie, let me tell you something, Stephanie. I kind of have an issue sometimes with Stephanie. Stephanie But this episode helped me understand why Stephanie is just angry all the time, and she really has a problem with men. And she even said it in this episode, because I'll get to it, but she even said, like, she has a problem with men, and she needs to really work on those issues. Because I'm telling you right now, as much as my best friend, I don't even call my best friend, I call her my sister. As much as I love her, and I know she loves me and she cares about me, she has never, in the entirety of my damn near 10-year relationship with my dude, ever approached him about some shit that me and him was going through, pulled up to his job, pulled up to his house. Never. Because that shit is that shit's out of bounds. Like, you don't do no shit like that. Point blank period. You talk to your friend about it and you keep it pushing, but that shit is completely out of bounds. And then, just like he said, he's on probation, so random people pulling up to his job, pulling him outside, like, you could really get him in trouble. So what's the name was right for snapping the hell out. So that's pretty much what's happened the first 2 episodes. Let's get into episode 3, okay? So I have notes, y'all. That's why I'm looking up. I promise I'm gonna get a shirt that say I have notes. Okay, so we have, is it Magic? I think that's how you say it. So Magic and Mike, Magic was not on last season. He just came in this season. He went to jail for I forgot how many years, a few years, maybe like 4 or 5 years, for trafficking marijuana or something like that. But anyway, him and Mike, they've always been cool. They used to, get money together and whatnot. So we open up with the episode with Mike and Magic. Mike moved Pure Blanco, his clothing line, I guess, is doing very, very well, he said. So they were able to get a nicer and bigger house. I love their house. The house is beautiful to me. And I love their pool. The pool is really nice. So Mike and Magic are there, and they meet up with their manager, and their manager is pretty much telling them that he got them a deal with Cookies. Now, before they even explain who Cookies is, I know who Cookies is. Like, it's a marijuana business. Well, I don't say business, but it's like a brand that, has to do with marijuana. They have some apparel as well. I mostly know their apparel. I don't live on the West Coast, so I mean, I've been to the West Coast, but whatever. And so, Magic is pretty worried about this because, this is what he went to jail for dealing with marijuana. And because of the fact that, that's not legal in every state and stuff like that. It's not legal where they are. It's not legal in Florida. So, he has some reservations, on like what they should do. I'll say this. Even though I'm in Pennsylvania, I did work for a company at one point in time whose, what did I do? What did they do? They marketed it for that. Does that make any sense, y'all? They were a marketing firm for that product. There we go. Not Cookies, but the product that they serve, okay? Because I don't know how many times I can keep saying it. They might flag my video, so I'm going to just say Mary Jane, okay? So they help, do that. And when I worked with them, I learned that there are so many laws on how you can brand and market that type of stuff. And if those laws are that strict when it just comes to like trying to promote a brand, I don't know how much that works as far as having your hands in it. Now, they did eventually, towards the end of the show, he said, well, even there, the manager said that they wouldn't actually be selling anything. It's just a partnership. Somebody else will handle that. But I can understand Maddie's concern because, it takes anything for the police to come and get you. It don't take nothing. It don't take nothing. And they could trump up a whole bunch of charges, conspiracy to, do this, possibly distribute, and, so I can understand that. So, they just pretty much have to weigh out their options as far as that is concerned. But Mike is ready to go. Mike, he said, let's get to the paper, my nigga. Let's get to the paper. So then we go on to Diana. Like I said, Diana went to jail as well. I forgot how long she did, but she did a few years. Her and her baby daddy did. Her baby daddy is currently doing 22 years. 22 years in prison, okay? So she's having a photo shoot with the kids so that she can send their father, I think the father's all the way out in California, and mind you, they're in Florida. So she's doing that so she can send him some pictures. Normally, she said she doesn't take the kids to go and visit him, but she's working on doing that. And when she's sitting there, she's talking to her daughters about it. this part was sad to me. It was pretty sad because, you know, she was just kind of explaining to them, you know, like how they're pretty much going to have to continue with their lives, you know what I mean, even though he's not there, you know. And the daughters, both of them, especially the oldest one, she said, look, I'm a daddy's girl, and so I don't want to think about, you know, because her mom was like, you know, you're going to be going to prom and you might possibly have kids by the time he gets out. And she says, no, I don't want to do any of that. I don't want to go through any of that without him. I want to wait and all of that. And that really breaks my heart because in all reality, you can't wait. You know what I mean? And I know that that's just girls who want their father, who miss their father. I will say this. I appreciate the fact that Diana keeps it real with her kids. Like, she thoroughly keeps it real with them about the situation at hand. I don't like that some parents, when it comes to like their like if a parent is incarcerated, how that other parent will, like, I can understand trying to shield your kid and trying to make sure that they're not hurt like that, but kids are not dumb. You know, kids can figure stuff out, and it's better that you be real with them versus you try to hide and put shit to the side and do all of that. You know what I mean? I am not, also I want to say this, I am not mad that Diana did not take her kids to go and see that man, because I do not believe that, I don't believe that when somebody else is locked up that they should make the next person or pressure the next person to come and bring their kids to come and see them. Because first of all, to be quite honest, depending on where you are and stuff, it takes a lot to get to a prison facility just for you to even go there and see them all of what, maybe like at the most maybe like an hour for you to leave and travel even longer to get back to where you was. No. So if you want to take your kids to go and see them, that's fine, but I don't get mad at women who say I'm not putting my child through that, because I understand that and I respect it. And so yeah, that's just on that. Okay. Also, okay, so then next we have Stephanie and we have Yvette. So Yvette is one of Stephanie's friends. I don't know if she won't be on the show, but that's one of her friends. So she pretty much was just telling her about what happened with her and Kat, and I'm glad that her friend kept it real with her. She said, girl, you need to mind your business. Like, she said, I don't know the whole thing, and you know I'm always your friend, but it sounds like you was completely out of line and that you need to mind your own business. Now, this is when Stephanie kind of got into, you know, the nicks and the crannies and stuff, and it made me understand why more, you know, why she is the way that she is. So she pretty much went on this whole rant about how she doesn't like Eddie and she doesn't trust Eddie and she doesn't trust men, period, because of the fact that her dad had went away to jail, and he went away to jail for 6 years. When he got out, her mom decided to take him back and be in a relationship with him. He ended up leaving. Her father left her mother for another woman eventually. And so because of that, she now feels like all men are the same. And you know, this goes back to the important conversation of, I'm really thinking about possibly reviewing Love in Huntsville. Love and Marriage Huntsville, which comes on OWN if anybody watches it, because this is exactly what happens when you are trash as a husband. You get what I'm saying? Like, how do I explain it? Like, some people think that you can be a good husband. You can be a trash husband, but a good father. Yes and no, because if y'all are all living in the same house, if that child sees you being a trash ass husband and treating their mother completely wrong, that will affect them and their psyche as they get older. And I only bring that up to bring up stuff like Martell and Mel and how that household is, or how specifically Tisha and Marceau, like the way that Marceau treats Tisha, them kids definitely pick up, and that shit's gonna affect them when they get older. So it's important. It's really important to be mindful about the shit that happens around your children and stuff like that, and just being mindful of being a fucking what about being a faithful husband? How about that? Okay, so yeah, so she talked about that, and I'm glad that at least she can acknowledge that, because now maybe she can work towards actually trying to fix that. You know what I mean? Let me check this title. She can hopefully, work on towards trying to fix that and trying to, let some of that hurt go, because sis, you can't hold on to that hurt forever. Like, You will be miserable. I'm telling you right now, I know more than enough people who have let their lives, they are miserable because of the fact that they think all men are the same. That is not the case. That is not the case at all. And I hate when people say that, oh, all men the same. No, it's not. Just the men that you've dealt with. And that's because of a pattern. And a lot of times that has to do with your childhood, okay? So that's that. That's that on that. But like I said, I appreciate the openness and the honesty that she gave, okay? So, after that, we get Marie and Diana. They're, on the beach talking. And, Diana pretty much is just, telling Maria, how Isis is in jail. Isis is her girlfriend. She was on last season. And she's mad at Stephanie because Stephanie did not come to the showcase that she had for her record label. Now, last episode or the episode before, Stephanie was on some, oh, well, why would I be doing anything for you? First of all, I remember what you said. Even though I forgave you, I remember what you said. And I'm on Young Money, so why would I wouldn't even dare try to be close to something like that. Like, what would Wayne think? First of all, Stephanie, let me tell you something like that, girl. I'm so tired of all of y'all girls talking about being on Young Money. Guess who else was on Young Money? Paris Hilton was on Young Money. How about that? Christina Milian was on Young Money. How about that? But guess what? Do we hear anything from them? Do we give a fuck about any of their music? No, we don't. So you know what you need to do, Stephanie? You need to take the opportunities that are given to you. Yes, you are on Young Money. So yes, you could probably possibly get, like a bigger platform and stuff. But at the end of the day, you can't sit up here and act like you're selling out stadiums and this, that, and the third. Build a base, sis. Build a base. If anything, you could have went to Diana and been like, look, I'll do this showcase, but girl, I'm gonna be the headliner, I'm gonna be the main person, this, that, and the third. You could have even helped her out by being like, you wanna know what? I know that you're just starting off, so let me try to bring in some of the people that I know, some of the executives or some of the nice producers, writers. You could have really helped her out. And understandably, y'all got into it last year, but like you said, you let her go, so why are you still trying to bring it up? Stephanie, you're not better than nobody. I can't say there's nobody on the show that I completely hate. Last season, I really did not like Stephanie at all. Her attitude was terrible to me. And she comes off very, stuck up and stuff like that. And sometimes she comes off as if she's jealous of Kat. That's just my opinion. But in general, Stephanie, I kind of get what you were saying. But at the same time, there would have been nothing wrong with going to that girl's thing. And even if you didn't, I don't know if she said that she did tell Diana that I don't know if she actually told Diana that she wasn't coming or if she just didn't show up. But regardless, you could have did that. You wasn't better than nobody. So yeah, so she's mad about that. I do think Diana, it's not that big of a deal though. Let it go. Because again, who's really I didn't even know nothing about Stephanie into this damn show, so don't be that pressed about the fact that she didn't come. Like, don't be that pressed, sis. Don't be that pressed. Trust me. After that, what we got? Okay, so then we go to Kat's shop or whatever, Kat Tattoo Shop, and she's remodeling and whatnot. So then we have Yolanda, who is Los's baby mama. Now, Los is another, cast member on the show ever since last season. Well, you know what? Last season, he was having some trouble with his baby mom and her letting him see the kid and stuff. And then, they actually sat down and had a conversation, which I thought everything was good. But you know how baby mom and baby daddy used to be. They up and they down, they up and they down. So, at this, Yolanda pretty much, I guess this season, they're just not seeing eye to eye. So Yolanda comes to, see Los, because Los said originally that I guess he was going to pick their daughter up, but then couldn't because he was working. So she was coming to see him, but he wasn't working that day. So she pulls Kat out to the side, and she's like, I do think it's weird that they've never met. That always throws me off. Like, they've never met before. But all right, whatever. They've never met, but they know of each other. Los is always going to Kat for advice and stuff. And Yolanda pretty much said in general that everything that Los said is full of shit. Los do not be coming to get his child. He be acting like he's gonna come and get his child, but then he always changes his mind. She showed text messages that showed that, and it did prove that. Kat said, well, at least he's paying his child support. She said, no, he's not. No, he is not. He's not paying nothing, okay? And, Yolanda says that she don't want to keep her child away from him. You know what I mean? She wants them to, wants them. So, you know, Kat's a little bit confused because she's like, well, then who's lying to me? Like, is Los lying to me? Is she lying to me? Whatever. So then we move on to Nicole. So we ain't talking about Nicole at all this whole episode, all the way up until now. Nicole, I'm going to say this. Last season, I did not care for Nicole at all. I thought she was doing too much. But as time went on, she's I still think that what she did with putting, I believe it was her who put Marie on blast about the webcam thing. That was complete freaking trash, and that did make me look at her like side-eye, like you're a fly-ass bitch for that. But outside of that, I mean, Nicole really don't bother me too much. She just Nicole. Like, she don't even really bother me. She was at the crib with Tori, which is that fine-ass basketball player that she's dealing with. And she pretty much, you know, put on a double date and set Steph up for, you know, for a double date. Steph don't want to go out with no damn man, so she lied about it. I put in my notes, she's really annoying as fuck, but I put LOL, so I find she's annoying, but it's like in a funny way. It's just weird. Stephanie got a whole bunch of money, her and her brother and her mama, they got a whole bunch of money from stuff that people in their family do. Just know that. Okay? I appreciate the fact, too, that Nicole doesn't lie about the fact that she had surgery done, because I really, for all last season, was sitting here and trying to figure out who had work on their body. At least, Nicole, you was being real about it. At least you was being fucking real about it, okay? So then we have Magic and Diana. They're at this bar and stuff like that, waiting for Los and Kat to come. And I'm sitting here looking at them, and I'm like, Diana, you flirting. And that's exactly what she was doing. She was flirting with him, something serious. And he asked her about ISIS, and, you know, she said that she broke up with her because she can't really deal with being with somebody who's in jail. And then she said, I don't know, this made me feel some type of way. Like, Diana, if you're bi, then that's fine. But it seemed like Magic was like, oh, well, at one point in time, you know, you were strictly dickly, and then, you know, you went to the girl, so that's what you doing. She was like, no, that was just then. That was just a phase. Da, da, da. You was in a whole relationship with a woman. Like, if ISIS was not to go to jail, I'm pretty sure you would still be with her. So I don't like that whole, oh, I mean, I just tried that. It's not like you just had sex with a woman and you just went about your day. You was in a whole relationship with one. So if you're bi, that's perfectly fine. But I don't know. I didn't like the way that she was making that seem. It was bothering me. But yeah, they're talking. Then Los and Kat come in, and Kat pretty much, you know, tells Los what Yolanda had said to her. And, you know, Los was like, she's full of shit. That's not true. She will call the cops on me. This is what he said. Okay, I don't really know who to believe, but what I don't believe is this point right here. Los said that if he went to actually go and get his daughter, that she would call the cops on him. I don't believe that. I don't know, but some of my spirit just don't believe that at all. Why would she call the cops on you to come when you want to come and see your child, when her problem is the fact that you don't come and see your child? And why would she go out of her way to come to the shop to come and find you? That part didn't make any sense to me. So somebody's lying, and that's pretty much the whole thing. Like, somebody lying here. And to be quite honest, it low-key kind of feel like he was making up excuses a little bit, because as far as like why he couldn't get custody or why he couldn't be around his child, this is how I really feel. Not all. A lot of men are full of when it comes to, you know, when it comes to like dealing with the mother of their child and their child in general. If you have the type of baby mom who you know is very, very petty, and she gonna be doing this, that, and the third, then you need to take that bitch to court to get custody of your child. Now, I understand that the reason why people don't do this is because a lot of niggas in particular, they don't want to be caught up all in the system and stuff. But at the end of the day, if we are talking about your child and you really truly want to see your child, you will do any and everything in your power to make sure that that is the case. And I feel like a lot of niggas, and Los is reminding me of one of them, who you're not fighting hard enough. You're literally just settling for her being like, oh no, you can't see. If that's true, Los, why are you just settling for her being like, no? Bitch, if I was you, I'd be like, bitch, no. Bitch, I'm taking your ass right down to family court so that I can get my visitations. It doesn't make any sense to me, and it really truly bothers me. Back to Love and Marriage, Huntsville. A man who's actually doing what he's trying his best is Marcel. Marcel is doing damn near everything. He about to pay for his ex-wife's and new husband's house just so that he can have his child by him. Y'all niggas be giving up too easily. It just be like, all she gotta do is say no, or all she gotta do is yell at you one time, and then it's just, oh, well, I'm not gonna go see my child. Bullshit. Okay, so I don't know who's telling the truth, but I do know that I think that whole part about, oh, if I went to go and see my child, she cut the cops on me, I think that part's bullshit. You just don't want to have to deal with her because y'all don't get along. I went on a whole rant for no reason. I'm over that. And then, Steph and Nicole, they went on a double date. Steph was being really, really nice to the guy. That threw me off. I thought she was gonna be a bitch, but she was actually very nice to the guy that she was with. She was very, really nice to him. She said she liked him, so that was cool. And then we ended the episode with Mike talking to Marie about the deal that they got. And Marie just kind of, I don't want to say she snapped out, but she's just very concerned. And she don't like the idea of it. She don't. And I 1,010% understand her concern. Mike, these motherfuckers got their eye on you. All right, y'all. So this was I'm so sorry. This review was so long, but I'm gonna keep up this. I know I keep saying I'm gonna keep up with shows, but I promise I'm really gonna keep up with this show because don't nobody else review it. And bitch, if I gotta watch myself back and watch myself talk about it to be happy, that's what I'm gonna have to do. All right, tell me what y'all think in the comments. I'm out. Bye.